Hey, how we doing there, guys and gals? Welcome back. This is the Kawasaki ZZR1400. Now, some say that this motorcycle is too much for the street. Well, is it? Let's find out. Straight off the back there, guys and gals, this is certainly one of those motorcycles that wants to keep going faster. You pull that throttle back a little bit, it wants you to give it some more every time. And that is kind of like the charm of this motorcycle, is this this beast in between your legs that, you know, kind of give as good as you get kind of thing. I'm trying to find my words there. But yeah, this motorcycle is certainly up there as one of the craziest experiences you will have on two wheels. But having said that, there are crazier, believe it or not. There are certainly crazier motorcycles than this, even though they have, I don't know, less horsepower or less torque, whatever. There are bikes out there that are more insane than this one. I mean, if I were to give you an example, I would say that my ZH2 is certainly more insane than this motorcycle. And I've said this before, where this bike is a gentlemanly experience. So like, yeah, it wants you to keep going faster, and you know, yeah, it wants you to kind of race it, you know. Even though a lot of you use this bike as a tourer, it does kind of have that incentive to want you to lean it into corners and basically treat this bike like a race bike. But at the same time, it's an easy rider as well. If you really want it to be, it's an easy rider. That's kind of the genius behind this bike, and in terms of its versatility. It can basically do anything you want it to. Anything you throw at it, it'll do. The ZZR1400. I know some of you will argue that this bike is far too much for the street. And you know what? I'm not going to lie to you. You could be onto something. You don't need this kind of bike on the street. But it's still fun as hell nonetheless. Even though I don't need it, this is the only bike I would ever want on the street. Isn't that weird? A weird concept. You don't need this bike on the street, but it's the bike you'd have. And that's the funniest thing about this motorcycle. As crazy as it is, as mad as it is, as unnecessary as it is necessary. It is one of those motorcycles that just, it gives you that ultimate experience on two wheels. And I suppose if you're a biker, then that's what you're looking for. You're looking for the holy grail of riding experiences. And this will be different for different people, of course, but I'm betting that for a lot of you, it's this bike right here. Is that a bit too poetic? Is that a bit too cheesy? I don't know, let me know in the comments. But yeah, this is certainly a love affair between the rider and the motorcycle. It's a unique experience for sure. Yeah, I wouldn't trade it for anything. Even a more modern Hayabusa, I wouldn't trade it for that. This is such a raw, unrestrained experience that, you know, you're getting the real deal, guys. In this motorcycle, you're getting the real thing, and I love it. So in answer to the question, is this too much for the street? I would say yes, but I don't care. I would still daily this bike anyway, and I do daily this motorcycle everywhere I go, whenever I get the opportunity. And it's one of those bikes that I keep coming back to, you know. If I have a stint on, I don't know, my wife's 125 Ninja or the ZX2, I will always get back home, think, I wish I took the ZZR out with me. But at the same time, I don't want to take this bike everywhere, because I do kind of want to leave it in the best condition possible. Speaking of which, she does need a clean. But yeah, it is one of those bikes that you really want to go back to. So many people that have sold theirs, they they regret selling them, and then they end up buying a new one again, you know? That's the kind of the bond riders form with this motorcycle. I don't think there's ever been another motorcycle that has had that much of an impact on the riders that own them. It's kind of crazy what this does to a person. Even like my wife, I would love to one day, when my wife gets her full license, to have a go on this bike to see how it feels from a woman's perspective. But even her riding as pillion, she loves this motorcycle. Absolutely loves it. So even though you can race this motorcycle, you can track day it, and it will again give as good as it gets on a track, you can tour with this bike easily. Might not have the tank range of some other tourers, but I mean, you're sacrificing a bit of range for the experience, aren't you, really? And this experience is not a touring bike experience. It's certainly more than that. And you can feel it in its seating position, in everything, you know? It's absolutely fantastic. But yeah, I mean, I'll keep toing and throwing. I'll keep changing my answer when it comes to this. Like, yes, it is too much for the street. No, it's not too much for the street. You know, it's because it's an emotional response that you'll have with this bike. It's not a logical one. If you're thinking about things logically, then of course not. You don't need a motorcycle like this. You know, this is a motorcycle that can do 0 to 60. I think it's 0 to 62 in well under 3 seconds, 2.5 seconds. At those kinds of speeds, you're kind of looking at a drag bike, which is. There are loads and loads of drag racers that drag race this motorcycle. Even though Suzuki is quite popular in the drag scene, Hayabusa, GX-1400, these are all very, very popular bikes in the drag scene, but this bike can hold its own. And it's all because of that massive displacement. But yeah, I mean, in my heart says, I love you, I love you, I love you! And my head says, nah, you don't need this kind of bike. What are you talking about? But I mean, that's the kind of conflict that this bike draws in your head, you know? Draws in your head and in your soul. It pierces your soul, guys and gals. And even on a dark and gloomy day like today, where just miserable, you get on your ZZR1400 and it just puts a massive smile on your face. You know, it makes you giddy. It makes you feel like a 10-year-old again at Christmas, you know? Every single time you jump on it, it's an amazing machine. And I mean, I know I keep saying this, guys and girls, but test ride one, yeah? If you've not ridden one of these before, go and test ride one, and then you'll understand what it's all about. But I think that'll do for today's video, guys and girls. Thank you ever so much for watching and joining me on today's ride. I hope you're all doing well. Leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment about what you think about this wicked motorcycle. And I will catch you all in the next video. Have a good one.